Hello again everybody and welcome to Lab 23. My name is Fran Kiernan and this is the Electrochemical Series lab that we're going to do today. As you can see, I've got a load of stuff lined up here. You really have to be thorough with your inventory for this lab. You're probably wondering what the sandpaper was for. Well, this is the lab for that. Here we have our 8 filter papers. You're going to label those filter papers for 2 trials. 4 filter papers for each trial, and you're going to label them with each of the 4 metals that we're going to be using. We have aluminium, we have zinc, we have iron, and we have tin. Now these are just metal strips that we're going to sand and use. We have 2 100ml beakers, we have 4 weigh boats, our funnel, a ruler, isopropyl alcohol, graduated cylinder. You'll need your clock glass, permanent marker, scissors, forceps, and 4 test tubes in the rack. Over here I've got the distilled water that I've measured to 325 milliliters, and with that we're good to go. Alright, so let's jump in. We have our 8 filter papers. We're going to label the 8 filter papers with the number of a trial. It's either trial 1 or trial 2. We're going to label it also with the name of the metal. So when you have this, you'll have your 4 trial 1 papers and you'll have your 4 trial 2 papers. So these are good to go. I'll put stuff aside for the moment. And now we're going to just go through the process of weighing each of our filter papers. Turning on the scale, weigh each paper, take a record of it. Next, we're going to measure 62.5 milliliters of distilled water into a 100ml beaker. So let's go 62.5 is here. I like to use my nail just so I have a clear marking. There we go, 62.5 into the beaker. And to this we are going to weigh out 28.3 grams of copper gluconate. So we'll use one of our weigh boats. Turn on the scale. Weigh boat on. 0 the scale. And 28.3 grams. There we go, 28.3 grams. Next we're going to weigh 7.38 grams of salt or NaCl. Another weigh boat. Put it on, 0 the scale, and 7.38 grams. Say 7.4 since our scale does not have any more than 1 decimal point. 7.38. There we go. 7.4 grams. Now, next we're going to add the salt and the copper gluconate to the water. So we're copper gluconate in first. Take it nice and easy, you don't want to lose any of this. The goal is to get 1 mole of copper gluconate solution adjusted with the sodium chloride. and then the salt. And with the stir rod, we're just going to stir this here. And when this is thoroughly mixed, we will have our 1 molar solution of copper gluconate adjusted with NaCl. Now that we've got the copper gluconate prepared, we're going to label our test tubes. You're just going to put the name of each of our metals on here. So Al for aluminum, Zn for zinc, Fe for iron, and Sn for tin. With that, we're going to take each one of our metal strips. Just going to take one. With our ruler, we're going to measure out 1 inch. And we're going to cut. So be as accurate as you can, don't eyeball it, use the ruler. So we do this for each of our metals. Next, we're going to take the scissor and just cut to our line. And we're going to put the corresponding metal into its test tube. Now if it doesn't fit, you're going to have to just cut it down again. Bend it. And drop it in. So into each of the test tubes, we're going to put 15 milliliters of copper gluconate. Get it moving again, and we're going to leave it for 30 minutes. So 15 mils into our aluminium. You want the entire piece of metal to be submerged. And the timer is set for 30 minutes. Now we're at the 30-minute mark, so we're going to drain off the solution from each of these 4 test tubes. This is going to be trial 1, so let's go to the filter papers that we had marked at the beginning. We're going to take the filter papers that are marked T1 for trial 1, and starting with aluminium, just fold it. This is the T1 aluminium. Fold it in half and in half again. And then we place that into a funnel, put the funnel into an empty beaker. Take the aluminium, pour it all in. You can feel the heat from the solution, and do the same for the other 3. Clean beaker. You're making sure that you get all of the copper out. There we go. So let that drain for whatever length of time is necessary to get most of the liquid off, and then I'm just transferring them over here. So they're waiting. We have the aluminium, here we have the zinc from the first trial. The first trial's iron and the first trial's tin. So we'll do this, we'll drain them off. Once it's drained, we'll come back again and we'll scrape off the copper for each of the metals. Now the excess solution has been drained off each of our filter papers. We're going to take them one by one, and with the forceps we're going to scrape off the copper from the base metal. We'll open it up, take the forceps, and see how much metal we can get off each one. Try to lose as little copper as possible. There we go. There's the original piece of aluminium, what's left from it. And here is our copper. So just clean the filter paper, or clean the forceps with the filter paper so you're not going to lose any. And now what we're going to do is just pop that back into here, and we are going to drain it with about 25 milliliters of distilled water first. Okay, so let that drain down with the distilled water first, and then do the same rinse with isopropyl alcohol. So once you're done with that, put it on the weigh boat, allow it to dry thoroughly, and then you're going to take a measurement, you're going to weigh it, and make sure you save all of those results for each of the 4 metals in the first trial, and then go back and do the same trial again. So second trial, wait the 30 minutes, drain off or filter off all of the copper gluconate solution, leave it to dry again, scrape the copper off the base metal, rinse it with distilled water and again with isopropyl alcohol, then take your weight and measurement. Good luck!